Hey guys, welcome back to Sketch a Day. Hope you can hear me fine and everything's okay. And I feel weird. Feels weird to be back, but we're here. New year. Few changes around the studio. I was up pretty late last night, so apologies for looking a mess. But we're back. Thanks for joining. It is Sci-Fi Sunday, and I want to kick things off by saying thanks for joining. I appreciate you all. Hopefully you had a good holiday season and you're ready to go with whatever it is you're doing, your passions, your pursuits, whatever life has to offer for you. I got my hot bean water here. Hello, Mew Mew, Samurai, Marzi. Lines, what's up? I know, it's been a minute, but we're here. Alright, so I'm going to kick things off with warm-ups as usual, but I've started a new sketch challenge for myself, so I'm going to use my sketch challenge as a little bit of a warm-up here. I was drawing some eels, so I'm just going to keep drawing those. It is Sci-Fi Sunday, so I'm going to continue with that theme, but thanks again to the Patreon's channel supporters. I appreciate all you do. It means a lot. Made a huge difference last year, and hopefully good things to come this year as well. So welcome back. Good to see you, Lions. Hopefully you had a good break yourself. I'm just gonna ease back into it nice and chill today. I had an idea for something related to eels that I might do since I was already sketching them, but we'll see. We'll see. So my challenge is to, should I even announce it? I feel like when I announce things, I kind of screw myself over a little bit. But I'm trying to finish 500 pages this month, which is a lot if you think about it. It's like 15 pages a day. So far, so good. I have a little bit of catching up to do today, so I figured I would kind of use this opportunity to double time. Is double time the right phrase? Double time. Today's topic is sci-fi, but we're just warming up. So I'll do some sci-fi stuff as well. Happy New Year to you too, Arnav. I'm not even sure if my chair is in the right place. I redid some stuff in the studio. I'll be posting a video on that soon, kind of showing you guys the process of what happened there. But just thought I'd do some eels today to start out. Normally I do the lines and circles and all that stuff to warm up, but figure might as well do a couple of these pages while people trickle in. I'll probably go for about the usual hour today. Inking guide is almost done. Keep saying that, but it is almost done. I just need to go and get all my links in, finishing details. That'll be available to, well, it is already available to patrons and channel members, pretty much in final form. There's just a couple errors here and there, but if you don't know what that is, that's I'm working on a series of guides related to design and drawing, career perspective, things like that. So that'll be available soon. Why is the eel so grumpy? Why not? I feel like they always kind of look a little bit grumpy, don't you think? Just a little bit grumpy. Freestyling it with the pen. Hopefully don't mess up too much here. Music brought to you by Paul Sohi, Final Kaiju. Thanks for hooking it up, brother. If you do make music and you want me to play it on the show, just let me know. Been a little sniffly lately too. Don't worry, it's not the Rona. Just been a little bit sniffly here and there. But yeah, hopefully Hope the new year brings good things for everyone. I mean, not that it would automatically bring good things because it's kind of an arbitrary date. If you are watching on Instagram, by the way, and you want to comment or make a suggestion, best place to be is YouTube. That's kind of where I'm watching the chat and so forth. Maybe this one has some gnarly teeth. I feel like eels are interesting. I guess the theme by default is aquatic. Maybe aquatic sci-fi. I could do a sub of some sort. Maybe some aquatic creature. I know a lot of people didn't love the movie, but I actually like Aquaman movie quite a bit. I thought they did a really good job not being too serious about everything like DC movies tend to be. Did everyone watch Wonder Woman, by the way? What did you think? I still haven't seen Soul. Why no sketch dump channel in Discord? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Patrons and channel members get access to all the sketches I do, but you guys are welcome to share your sketches in the Show Your Work channel. That's kind of where we've been putting stuff. So, and then if you want feedback, that kind of thing, there's a Get Help channel as well. Some of you have used that, some of you haven't, but yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Thanks, Lions. But yeah, if you mean the sketches I do on the show, that's all available to patrons and channel members, just as a perk, a thank you, a plus, a high five for the support. Also, thank you, Lines, for all you do. I know I kind of hit Lines up one day. I was like, okay, do you want to be a mod? And they were like, oh yeah, that's cool. So I appreciate everything you do. I really do. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, let me know. Or to say thank you. But you guys should say thank you to Lines. Holding it down. Keeping the energy going. And Jordan as well. Jordan's kind of running our weekly sketch challenge. I know that fell off the rails in the holiday season. Despite my best intentions. Ended up spending time with kids and so on. Kind of need to do that, you know, being a dad and all. So hope you guys understand, but we are back. So the challenge is to finish, and you guys, you can do it if you want to. You don't have to, but every year or so, I like to challenge myself to see if I can finish 500 pages in a month on top of everything else I'm doing. It takes about 2 hours a day in real time if I were to measure it all out. About 2 hours a day. So I'll do another page of warm-up eels. Warm-up eels, aquatic life, fish, something like that. Hey Latrice, what's up? Thanks for joining. Show Your Work is kind of finished painting. You can put whatever you want in there. It doesn't have to be finished at all. If you want to throw in your rough sketches, go for it. Whole point is just to create spaces for everyone. I want to draw something else. Should we draw like an octopus? Need to look at a little reference here. See if we can get the general shape down. And let's see. These guys have weird eyes. So yeah, just kicking things off with some sea creatures today, just as a warm-up. Maybe I'll start doing warm-up sketches instead of warm-up lines. We'll see. But yeah, feel free to join the Discord, share your sketches, show your work, ask questions, all that stuff. Hopefully the audio sounds okay too. Like I said, I haven't streamed in a bit, so things may have moved, shuffled, shaked, shimmied, transitioned to a new dimension. Who knows? So if I'm drawing something, once I have the general like shape, meaning here's a sphere, transition, I kind of know what it looks like, then I can start to draw, generally speaking, from different points of view. And that allows you to kind of explore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. You don't have to show all 8, right? 6. So maybe one of the legs is obscured or something. Even that little line there, you can shade this in. Just keeping it quick and loose. Quick and loose. If you want a better view and you are watching on the Instagram, definitely check out the link I pinned in the chat. That's the YouTube. You can check it out. Thank you, Jay. Oh, I did mention last time I've been working on cataloging the videos that I do, because it's hard to find things, it turns out, on YouTube. So even if you like subscribe and follow a channel, it can be hard to like find the content sometimes. So I'm kind of working on just cataloging. I'll add texture here in just a sec. Working on creating an index on my website. So if you ever get lost or you want to just find some videos, you can always hit up sketchaday.com/video. Or videos, sorry, sketchaday.com/videos. I'll show you the website in just a sec here. And that's a good way to just find all the stuff that I've done. So here it is. If you go to the website, it's going to look like this, and then you just tap on video list, and you can kind of see a full list here. Not a full list, like it doesn't have all the videos I've ever done, because actually it's hard for me even to like go through and find everything. But if I wanted to find something like fashion, okay, just hit Control F and I can search that up. There's some shoes right there. If I want to look up house, okay, like how to draw a house, there's a bunch of houses. So now when I click on treehouse sketch here, I think it's going to autoplay, but it jumps to this live stream archive. So pretty easy for you to find stuff if you're curious, or easier anyways if you're curious. All right, draw a rocket jumpsuit. Maybe I'll combine that with what I want to do. I kind of want to do some like characters that are based on sea creatures, since I've kind of started with this like sea creature theme, and I'm doing like this octopus. So maybe I'll do like a Cthulhu type thing, or something along those lines eventually here. But great idea, thank you. I don't really want to draw anything that exists either, like characters or products, so just kind of trying to go from the imagination today. So if you have any imaginative ideas, shoot them my way. Happy to work through that with you. I'm going to focus on pen and paper, maybe a little marker as well, but just pen and paper today. Which I suppose is fitting because I'm working on a digital sketch guide as well. And I was just working on a chapter, you know, how do you transition? How do you get started? And one bit of advice I give is start on paper first. And I kind of go through why. So in that guide, but that will be forthcoming. Should be a fun one. I'll probably release at the same time I do the inking guide, so that there are some options if you're, for those who want the pen and ink stuff. Again, free for patrons and channel members as a thank you and appreciation for all that you do. So a little bit of line weight here should help bring this out, and then I'll add some texture as well to our octopus. Just using regular printer paper today. That's right, stroke direction can make a big difference in how your forms show up in details. If something's just in shadow, a lot of times I'll just use hatching like that. And then if you want to establish some contrast, put the lines a bit closer together. And now we have a bit more contrast in that spot. Maybe our octopus has some spots, so you can use a bit of pointillism here. Is it pointillism? Not sure if that's the right term, but creating a little bit of texture, some squiggles, some dots. Anyhow, yeah, Wonder Woman, it was alright. I watched it. I didn't love it. I think it's heresy to say that, but I didn't love it. It was alright. Not my favorite DC movie. Kids and I are working our way through Star Wars right now. We're going to watch The Mandalorian again eventually. That was pretty great. Did you guys see that? No spoilers for those who haven't seen it and want to see it anyways. But what a finale. That was pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, just adding a little bit of texture here now with the pen. It's been a minute. I missed you all. Missed streaming. Can I use space as an inspiration? I could use space as an inspiration for the Rocketman drawing. I'm like kind of imagining it in my head right now as I do these guys. But I wanted to do like, I guess I could do one of each. I was gonna do some character that had like, I was doing some eels earlier for those just joining in, just as a warm-up today. My personal sketches. And then also did some fish. These are from last night. So did a bunch of stuff here. So I might do one more page of, is it octopuses? Is that the correct term, or octopi? Not quite sure. How do you say it? Octopuses? Octopi? Hopefully the lighting's alright too. I changed a lot of stuff in the studio, like I said. Yeah, that's a lot of Eels lines. To those that are Sea Life averse, my apologies, but I just felt like drawing them today. So yeah, I've done this challenge before, this personal challenge, and I'm gonna get it done again this month. So the challenge is 500 sketches, 500 pages like this in a month. Trying to fill the pages too. So day one actually did some, and I'm gonna try and not just do product design this time. A lot of times I've done just product design. I did kick things off with just some chair sketches, just because, you know, that's what I'm used to, whatever. But I am gonna try and mix it up this time. So do some sketches from nature, sci-fi stuff, vehicles, of course, footwear, but maybe some architecture, people. All right, I'm gonna try and mix it up. I do wish coffee shops were a thing right now. I miss going to the local coffee shop and just people watching and drawing. I would just kind of sit there every day before the pandemic, and just my local neighborhood shop. I just kind of sit there and just draw people. And I miss that. Not that I miss the people per se, but I miss drawing them for sure. For sure. So yeah, this exercise, like I said, daily it's about 2 hours if I put all the time together, but a lot of times I'll do it while I'm kind of hanging out with the kiddos, watching something, or you know, watch some Netflix, whatever. After the stream, I'll probably keep drawing. Although I may run to IKEA, we'll see. I have a little project I want to do. So yeah, pardon me, just a little little sniffly today. It is snowing where I am. Coffee shop live stream, I wish. But I'm not really going out. I did hang out with my sister for New Year's. She's my neighbor. But other than that, I haven't really seen people in a very long time. Just trying to be careful. I know a lot of people, at least where I live, differ on the whole social distancing thing. It's been interesting, but all right, let's keep going here. How are we doing on time? I have no idea. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Usually at this point, I've done like a page of warm-ups anyways, so hopefully a little bit more interesting than straight lines. I mean, lines is always interesting, but you know what I mean. Not that lines. Probably should have used a different shading pattern on this one. Kind of makes it look a little bit, what would I say? Hard? Well, let's see if I can darken it up a little bit. Just creating a little bit of shadow core, space for some rim light in there. So what are your sketching goals this year? Have you set any sketching goals, any personal challenges? What are you guys going to be working on? I'll just be doing the usual, drawing every day. I do want to get better at drawing people. So I did buy those books. I think I showed you guys before. That I'm going to be using personally just to practice. I'm going to try and journal a bit more. Kind of sketch journal. And then, of course, streaming. I may do, at least for this month, 3 times a week. I'm going to back off just a little bit on the frequency and see how it goes. It seems to be that the less frequently I stream, the more people tune in. It's like counterintuitive. So, how do I know where to put the hatch lines? That's a good question. Maybe I should include that in the inking guide. I didn't really talk about that, but you kind of have to think about light and shadow. So, you know, where's your light source? Right, so as I do this, I'm thinking in terms of there's some reflected light there, right? So reflected light. By that I just mean that maybe in the scene there's some other light that's impacting our little shoot, I can't believe I forgot the name. It's not a mollusk, it's a cephalopod. It's affecting our little Cephalopod. Working to be the best automotive designer. That's a good goal. Automotive design is tough, so hopefully you're practicing a ton. I enjoy drawing cars, but I never wanted to risk working on a project for 5 years and then having it canceled or whatever. So super competitive too, but if you can get in, it can be pretty fun. So how do I know where to put my hatch lines? It really just comes down to how I'm thinking about the lighting in the scene, and then the direction of your lines is oftentimes going to communicate the nature of a surface. So if I have a cylinder like this and I were shading like this, it's kind of weird. I mean, you can probably do it, but it's kind of weird. It doesn't really tell me anything about the nature of the shape. But if I can do it two ways. This is actually an inking guide, so I'm giving you a little bit of information here. If I shade this way and I have my shadow core here and then separate the lines a little bit, then it helps it feel more like it's actually wrapping, right? I can also, I guess I can do this three ways. Another way I like to do is if you like to do the diagonal lines and you just want to abbreviated shade this, you can just kind of mark the shadow core and highlight like so. Shade the top if you want, but there I have the shadow core and the highlight. So it's a way to kind of abbreviated shade, I think it's called. Oh yeah, the lights in the studio look way better too. I also fixed that and changed a bit so my face doesn't look like super shiny. You guys are like, oh my gosh, it's his face. And then the third way to do this would be, if you wanted to, you could try and shade along. And notice each of these lines is curved. It gets a little bit messier when you do it this way, so I don't typically try and do this. And then you can kind of come in a little bit more in the core here. I'd say for illustration purposes, I use this technique sometimes. You know, something like that. But now it starts to feel a bit more textured, almost like, you know, it could be part of a tree or something. So point is, line direction can communicate a lot in terms of texture and lighting as well, and feel. So just something to be aware of if you are gonna do this. And then, hey, what's up, Vasisht? So yeah, when it comes to the octopus itself, here, right, there's areas where I am using this technique mixed with this one. So it's like 1 mixed with 3. Right, I haven't really used 2 in this case. I guess if I were to use 2, it might be outlining something like this and then shading, but it just feels a little bit weird, so I don't typically do it unless it's on a product. And I'm just trying to quickly communicate something. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's do another cephalopod type critter here. There's a Netflix documentary, I guess, called My Octopus Teacher, but I haven't watched it yet. Someone recommended it to me. I do like the octopus. I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, someone recommended it to me. I just haven't checked it out yet. And again, once you have the general shape, it's not too hard to kind of just, after you've drawn it once or twice, just rotate things in your head. So you can just kind of rotate things in your head, and then, you know, the rest isn't too bad. But if you are just jumping into something, it's really hard to just get it the first time unless you've done it before. At least, I shouldn't say you. For me, it's hard to get it right without having done it before. That's what I mean. Alright, so reminder, if you're on the Instagram and you want to comment, join the YouTube. That's the chat I'm paying attention to. Read broadcasting on Instagram as a courtesy. If you miss it, the archive will be on YouTube. I explained why a couple of streams back, but let's just say, I guess I could do this kind of shading. I'll show you a different way of doing this. This I picked up from an illustrator, Don Siegmiller, and it has this technique here. He's a local illustrator here. I mean, I'm not saying like he's the only person in the world who does this, but just a little bit of a scribble with the pen to create the texture. And it can take some time, but the tighter the scribble, the darker it's gonna appear. So I can kind of use this to shade and create different values in the sketch. And I do the same thing. All right, so in terms of shape, okay, if the octopus head is something like this, right? In terms of shape, hey, what's up, Mecha Art? Good to see you. So if my light bulb is here, right, shining a light, I'm gonna get a nice highlight and shadow. And as the light changes position on our object, right, these are gonna kind of move. And so in this case, if I have a bright spot here, it's likely that my bulb is somewhere here now, okay? Because I'm getting a nice bright spot, and then I'll have the fall off on the edges. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm suggesting in this lighting setup, that my light is maybe more positioned relative to the octopus somewhere here. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's keep our scribble up. And scribble's kind of nice because you get the benefit of a texture, but also you can use this to kind of shade. The other thing I talk about in an inking guide is pen angle. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll just open it up here. It's not totally done yet. Like I said, not totally done. Let's see. Happy little pen guide.
I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat.
What is happening here? Okay, my computer is wigging out, so hopefully the stream doesn't crash. That would be fun. Not really. Give me just a sec. I probably need to restart my computer. Okay, there we go. So I was saying, where is it? Here we go. So one thing I do talk about in the pen guide is how the angle of your pen can affect your line weight. And so you may have noticed that I tipped the pen up a little bit or angled it down. That's something that can affect how your lines show up. I also talk about textures, different textures, how to create those. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, so a little bit on texture, lighting, stuff like that. So that will be forthcoming, coming soon. If you're wondering what I'm talking about on Instagram, you just need to be on YouTube, man. That's where all the good stuff is. Will I ever? For you, I will one day, Mecca. For you, I will. Anyhow, so there's a little bit on lighting with the pen, and so if I hold the pen at this pen in particular, if I hold it at an angle because of the nature of the tip, I get a thinner line toward the top, or if I hold the pen more vertically, I mean, and if I angle the pen, which I'm not going to do right now, but if I angle the pen a bit more, I will get a darker, thicker line. This is Sketch a Day Live, by the way. Thanks for joining. I'm Spencer. I like drawing. Industrial designer by trade, but artist at heart. I just came up with that. But I like it. Industrial designer by trade and training. Artist at heart. Go live. Mostly daily. At least we'll see how this year goes. We'll see. What's the book? The book is my inking guide, pen and ink guide that I'm working on. And it's about 57 pages, I think. But I'm also working on a digital sketching guide. So I'll release both at the same time is my plan. I also have a marker guide available, and then I'll do like a triple pack or something on my website, so in the store. But patrons and channel members receive those for free, along with all the sketches I do, including, yes, the 500 sketches I'll be doing this month. I'll throw those up. So win-win-win. This is a Papermate flare, Mecca. This is a Papermate flare. Yes. I feel like the focus is off on my camera. Let's see. Why is it off? Is the light okay? Yeah, the light's fine. I moved the light in my studio, so I've just been curious to see how this would look on stream. I didn't really do a test before. Maybe I should have, but in any case. Just using a little scribble shade here. Felt pen. See if we can show some volume on our cephalopod, little octopus. And I won't do the whole thing, just kind of the center here, and then we'll fade out. So you kind of see how this scribble now fades into just a few lines, right? Doesn't mean you have to scribble the whole thing. This one's a little in shadow though, so I'll add some scribble here. And then kind of fade that out. How to make a human. I'm trying to learn that too myself. No, I'm just kidding. I am practicing. I can go over a few things. But I would recommend if you go to website, sketchaday.com. I have a few videos on fashion sketching that I think would be helpful, and a few other there as well. So check that out. Today is Sci-Fi Sunday, so I'll be switching here into doing some sci-fi stuff. We had a request for some sort of rocket suit, and I wanted to do something related to these creatures that I've been drawing, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be live for about an hour here, so maybe I'll do one or two quick sketches. Maybe one that's an eel, and the other one could be some sort of cephalopod humanoid in a rocket suit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we're good. Hey, Jordan, what's up? Happy New Year to you, too. It's been a minute. I was telling these guys earlier. Just wanted to spend some time with the kiddos and relax a bit too. So kind of been doing that. I know you can appreciate that. And just like Lions, I want to say thanks, Jordan, for everything you do. Thanks for running the challenges. I know things kind of fell off in the holidays here, but feel free to check out the weekly sketch challenge channel if you're looking for something to draw. If you're looking for something to draw, maybe some inspiration prompts, whatever. I saw some good prompts as well. Maybe I'll share the link in the channel a bit later. Also, since I've had some questions about stuff I use, you can always check that link. It needs a little bit of updating, but you can always check that link for information on the stuff I use. All right, if you need a bit more help, like say on markers or whatever, if you need a bit more, you can check out my marker guide, for example. Pen guide forthcoming, digital. Lots of good stuff this year. I'm hoping I'll be able to accomplish and get done. So you can put your drawings on the Discord and chat with the community and get feedback. It's a great place to start. I would join the Discord. My one bit of advice would be just take some time to get to know everyone, you know. Share your stuff. Don't be demanding. That would be my advice. All right, so 2 pages of octopus here. And now let's move on to doing some creatures in a suit. Hey, Svetlana and Art, what's up? I think I'm gonna do thank you for the New Year's wishes. The link is in the video description. Shubham. Open Discord invite. Let's keep it cool, be chill, and all will be well. All right, so let's do some sort of suit here, and then I'll do another one. So, but the request was for rockets, so I'll make sure to include that. All right, so just a bit of gray marker, just to help me out here. I guess I'm not sure if they're underwater or what. I mean, they could be underwater, they could be in outer space. Either way. Alright, so this one I'm gonna have be the octopus. And I was thinking maybe there could be some ports on the chest plate here, where these like additional tentacles come out. Something like that. And then this one I was gonna have be the eel. Now, I suppose it's weird for an eel to have actual hands, and legs. So maybe these are just robotic legs or something. And the request was for some sort of rocket propulsion system on these guys, so I'll hint at it. Maybe not go into specific detail, but hint at it there. And then, do I have my brush pen? No, I don't. But I just got this new... Should I even try it? Whenever I try something new, though, I always mess up. So maybe I won't do that live here. Maybe I won't. Happy Gerbier. But someone I follow online uses these Lamy pens. Roshan Hakim. I don't know if he's watching today, but Lamy. Not sure how to pronounce it. Oh, this is way zoomed in. Sorry, guys. Way too zoomed in. All right, let's see here. So I just ordered this pen. It's a fountain pen. I've never actually used one, but maybe it'd be a good chance to try one. It says remove. Okay. See how this works. Hopefully I don't create a big mess here. Can't tell if I'm supposed to squeeze something or the ink just comes out. Oh, there we go. Why is it blue? It's not supposed to be blue ink. That is somewhat upsetting. Oh, this is blue. I'm gonna have to switch that out, but I'll do it later. Are the Posca markers expensive? I mean, it depends on what's expensive to you. For me, I think they're okay. And depending on which one you get too, it's like... Yeah, depending on which one you get, the cost will obviously vary. So I found that, you know, the big ones, like... So I've got like giant Posca markers like this. It's huge. Here's an example just to compare. This one I think was like $10 or $12. But then these will run, you know, $5 or $6. And they last long enough. The small ones I think are about $3 to $5. What's up, Rodrigo? How you doing? Happy New Year to you too. The small ones are a bit cheaper. So it really just all depends on which one you get and what you're gonna do with them. Certainly, you know, if you're gonna be making money, then it might be worth it. Might be worth the investment for you, but maybe not. I guess I don't really talk about white inks in my pen guide that I did, but maybe that's something I could address or talk about as well. So the nice thing about using this gray marker method here, you guys have seen me do it before, is you can kind of map things out before you commit and then get your shapes right. Sometimes you can come up with interesting new shapes as well, depending on how the marker turned out. So kind of a nice, useful technique. Or if you just want to ignore something. So if I decide, you know what, I don't really want the rocket booster on Mr. Mollusk here, then we don't have to include it, you know. So kind of nice that way. Because this arm is off in the background, I'm not going to finish it off. I'll just kind of include the silhouette. I'll do the same thing for this leg here. Just a silhouette. And then the leg that's a bit closer, however, I'll try and include a bit more. want to give the upper torso here a little bit more body. Body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. Alright, so maybe a little bit of that show on the other side. Some thickness to this glass. And again, the angle at which you hold your pen is going to determine to some extent how thick the line is going to be. How did I order the pen? How much did I order? The Lamy pen? This pen was like 30 bucks. So it was not cheap. Now I have ink everywhere. Is what I feared. I don't know why they would include. It's so weird, because I ordered black, and for some reason they included like blue by default. It's just weird. Why would you do that? Maybe it's a mistake. Anyway, I'll probably just have to write with this till it turns black. See how long that takes. So far it feels kind of nice though. I like the fountain. Okay, it's starting to turn black now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. So I probably just need to draw with it for a while. Has a nice feel to it though. I can see why Roshan likes it. Flare pens aren't expensive. 2 or 4 in a pack. Yep. You can also get the flares. I buy them by the dozen. So I made a mistake here. I'm going to see if I can fix it in terms of the symmetry left to right. Let's see if I can fix it just by adding this line, this little detail here. Maybe shade that in, shade this one in. And now we've kind of shifted our tentacle over a bit. Pelvis is a little bit weird, so I'm gonna change that as well, and then I'll shade it in so it doesn't feel as weird. So that line was just kind of off, right? For our Octobot, whether it's underwater or in space, either way. And I'm just gonna be cheeky and hide this leg behind because I don't want to deal with it. And this hand, I'm gonna hide that as well. Yeah, I guess this is gonna be a pen and ink show, so hopefully this is enjoyable a little bit. Daniel says it's satisfying to watch that pen write. It is. It's actually, I don't know if you've used one, but it feels really nice. Not the Flare, the fountain pen, right? This is the, I'm not sure if it's the All-Star. I just know it's a broad nib. Maybe I'll draw Eel Guy with it. Yeah, I'll draw Eel Guy with the fountain pen. We'll try it out. These guys need some backstories. So this is, I need to figure out a name for our octopus guy here. Like, do we want to go full Aquaman and decide that they're part of some kingdom of sea creatures? Are they just highly evolved? You know, is this like so far in the future that aquatic life has reclaimed, not reclaimed, I guess reclaimed, or claimed the surface? That's actually from One Punch Man, if you guys have seen the series at all. There's a, I don't want to spoil it, but there's an episode related to what I just said. Love that series though, it's so good. So good. Maybe I'll watch it again for the new year here. What have I been watching lately? I've been watching American Horror Story. I started watching one of those and then I couldn't stop, so But they're definitely augmented with robotics because there's no way, right, that an octopus. I kind of like this dude because of the little ports here and how it's like tentacles are just kind of sticking out. Kind of like that. So once again on the shading, you just have to think about light source and pick a style for the shading, leave some reflected light, and then you can create that three-dimensional look that you're after. Mecha art getting political. To be decided. We'll see. We'll see. Pacific Rim. That's another good one. I'd watch that again. My kids love that movie. All right, here's our mollusk guy. Mollusk, not mollusk, cephalopod. Mollusk would be like the ocean army. Yeah, exactly. The ocean fights back. This pen is, I think it's the broad or medium. I just wanted to get something general. I think I'll get a fine next if I like this. I'll get a fine, but we'll see. To be decided. TBD on the pen. So here's an instance where I might use that other type of shading because this is away from the light now. All right, so as I shade around this leg, I'm going to use that shading I was talking about and then kind of overlap the lines. And now I have a little bit of a darker area here. Do the same thing here. Leave a little bit on the side for reflected light. Kind of do something like that. Oh, the F size? I'll have to look on Amazon and get back to you on that. Because I don't know specifically what the pen said. Let's see, I can share the Amazon link for the pen I bought specifically. If you're curious, or since you're curious rather. So I'll just send you this link. This is exactly the one that I got. So that's the one I got. That's the Lamy pen that I got. So if it's good and I decide to keep it, I'll add it to the website and all those details will be there. Oh, another goal this year is I'm hoping to paint more this year. I started painting a little bit later in the year last year. Just digital painting. I'm not going to be doing much traditional. Maybe I'll do some, but most of it will be digital painting. But I'm going to try and do more of that. Again, industrial designer by training, artist at heart. Trying to level up. It is not aluminum, it is plastic. Good, Hope. I'm glad you're sketching. Cephalopod, undersea mercenary. I like that. Cephalopod. Undersea mercenary. Love that line. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Thank you. Cephalopod. All right, so let's see. Cephalopod's boot here. Boot and shadow foot, because I don't want to draw the other foot. Just a little of these suckers, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. These little, I wonder what the scientific word for those is. You know, like a fly has a sucker, but it's a proboscis. But these are not proboscis. Probosces. Favorite food? For cephalopod, definitely plankton cakes. At the local cafe. The local undersea cafe. Definitely plankton cakes. Alright, so this other tentacle, I want this one to be in shadow, so I'm going to go ahead and shade this one in dark, which is going to help push our other one here forward a bit. There we go. Pardon me. Thank you, Explosive Yoda. Good to see you. Just doing some pen and ink drawing. Hope you had a good holiday, everyone. So reminder, inking guide will be out soon. Pretty sure I'll stream tomorrow. Pretty sure. But I'll probably, like I said, I'm going to try and see if I can do, you know, instead of 5 or more a week, do like 3 to 4 and see how that goes. I just got to be careful not to burn out. But also it seems as though for some reason with YouTube, just counter to everything I've heard, the more you go live, the less people are finding me. So I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. Algorithms, man. But definitely, like I said, check out the weekly sketch challenge channel on the Discord if you're interested in just pushing yourself, maybe getting some ideas for what to sketch. There are past challenges that we've done. We did fashion, transportation. Trying to remember the other ones. Favorite things. So yeah. If you're just looking for a bit more, you can check that out. I don't know if YouTube is shadow banning people, but like I don't want to go that far and get that suspicious. But I will say, like I said earlier, it is hard to find content on YouTube if you're looking for something topically, unless you're looking for that specific thing. So if you type in Spencer Nugent sketch a day, you'll find my videos. But if you type in design sketching or product design or industrial design, you won't find the videos, which is weird. So I put together that list at sketchday.com/videos. So that would be a little bit easier, at least for those who are interested, to find stuff. So hopefully that helps. Because I kept getting questions, and I was like, why do people keep asking me, like, do I have this, do I have that? And so I went and searched for myself, and I just found that, yeah, it's kind of hard to find stuff, interestingly enough. So I'm going to keep working on that, keep building it out, finding all the good nuggets. The good mech nuggets for you. I feel like I'm spending way too long on this mollusk guy, but it's all good. Hopefully you're enjoying it, learning something. Oh, yeah, like I had mentioned, part of the digital guide is, okay, you know, you're getting into digital sketching, what should you do? And my advice is start on paper. And hopefully you can see with this sketch today that it's more about understanding principles than it is necessarily the tool. Because I could do this with my tablet, and it would have a different look because I might take a different approach, but the principles are the same in the sense of like lighting and surface texture and details, things like that. So it's not so much about the fact that I'm using a Papermate flare as it is, hey, do you understand how light works, and can you figure out a way to show that using the tool you have, right? And I think that makes the big difference. All right, so that was cephalopod. Now we're gonna move on to our eel guy. Mine says, I feel like YouTube has an agenda whenever I look for anything. It's crazy how it never shows me stuff from creators I watch. It wants to push random stuff. Yeah, I mean, that is certainly something I've noticed as well. Although sometimes it remains topical. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Because I think I've mentioned before that I watch a lot of chess. This arm got kind of weird, but I kind of like it. It's like it's got 2 articulation points, almost like those deep sea suits where you've got the pincers instead of actual fingers. But anyhow, yeah. So maybe I can take some inspiration from some deep sea suit here. Maybe. Yeah, that kind of works. I like how the arm is like it's making a sound. And maybe I'll open the mouth over a little eel here. Little eel guy. Oh, it looks like a dolphin now. I guess eel guy could have a tail coming out, right? Could have like some sort of tail business here. All right, like, and then on the suit, and the articulation points, whatever, we keep that somewhat robotic looking, and then the tail is what is kind of out here. And that'll actually help me clean up the leg situation a bit and make this feel more of a composition here. So I like that. I'm gonna roll with that. So yeah, don't be afraid if you have a drawing or something. Don't be afraid to like change it as you're working on it. You know, even if you're using the marker technique here, where you start with the gray marker, and you can kind of see that adding the line weight kind of pulls the details out of the drawing a bit more. The claw. Is this a robotic arm or still an eel? I'm gonna say it's a robotic arm. That's what I'm gonna say, Lines. It's some sort of robotic arm. The eels aren't as evolved as our octopus friend here. They're a bit lower in the evolutionary track than the octopus is. So they're more of the grunts of the underwater force here. Oh yeah, maybe this back thing here is where the eel's tail comes out. Yeah, I kind of like that. And so yeah, the appendages, the legs, all this stuff, definitely robotic. But this eel, I mean, it can still speak, it can still communicate. It's just not as evolved as our cephalopod is. Seth. I'm not really looking at the other sketch here. I probably should. But I'm just gonna put a placeholder for an arm in there. I forgot to use... Oh, I did! I forgot to use the ink pen. Okay, it's alright. I've got a little bit more time. We'll figure it out. I mean, I can still try. Thanks, Arnav. Yeah, I can still use this pen. Ooh, it's smooth. It's very smooth. It's almost like a little bit lighter, like light gray too, which is interesting. Yeah, I figured this could be some sort of like pressure plate, or plate that, like, you know, is fastened in here. So this is a Lamy Safari. Let's see, it's a Safari fountain pen 19M. Electric eel with glasses. Now this guy doesn't have glasses, but I feel like he needs some like face texture and stuff. So I'm gonna add some texture spots here, shade these in, take our sweet time. It's very smooth, like it really just glides on the paper. I don't know how this pen holds up to marker though. That's one thing I don't know. But yeah, so far so good. It's very smooth. Very, very smooth. So I'm gonna give, wait. I think the ink must be water-based because it's like making my paper curl just a little bit. And I'm not using expensive paper. In fact, let's see. Nope, no bleed. But it is making my paper curl just a little bit, so. I don't know, man. The jury's out, but it feels nice. Be nice for writing for sure. Thank you, NYC Tours. You're amazing. Thank you for the contribution. Much love, appreciation. That is incredible. Thank you so much. NYC Tours coming in clutch with the super chat. Much love to you. Happy New Year. Thanks for the support. Yeah, this pen's a little bit different. I will say I'm not used to it, but NYC Tours, amazing. Thank you. Oh, maybe they do have. Maybe they are former marine biologists who discovered an artifact that not only advanced time but also transported them dimensionally to another reality where they are evolved. Maybe. Alright, could be the case. NYC Tours, thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you. Again, means a lot, guys. So, of course, means a lot for you to be here, but thank you so much for the contribution. Much appreciated. Much love. But yeah, hopefully you can see here as well that with the line weight, right, the extra value, shading, shadows, all of that stuff, the marker kind of is falling to the back now. Now we have, let's see, I gotta figure out the volumes here because I want the eel to look like it's going into this like somewhat articulated section in the back. All right, we'll carry it. We'll continue this pattern for our friend here. His lovely, its. Maybe they don't have genders. Got evolved and became a hermaphrodite. Reproduce on their own. But I'll carry this texture through here so it like ties in. So it ties in a bit. Something I've been wanting to try, but I haven't yet. I actually bought... Where did you go? Where did you go? My lovely, where did you go? I wanna know. So I bought this ink for inking, but I haven't tried it out yet. I'm super nervous to try it. One of my friends who's an artist recommended it. I feel like this is a disaster waiting to happen. So I don't even know how to clean it up, but I have this super black ink that I've been meaning to try. So I'm gonna put this here off to the side for now. But yeah, I'm gonna try a lot of new things this year. It's definitely one of my goals. Mix it up. But don't worry, if you discovered me as a product design guy, I'm always gonna do product design stuff, so don't worry. Sundays are for sci-fi though. Sundays are for sci-fi, so that's what I'm doing here. Sketching all things weird, unusual, peculiar, uncomfortable. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, it feels like with the fountain pen, I will say that I have to hold it a certain way for it to work. And I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm trying to just kind of pay attention as I do this and see how I feel about it. But maybe I just need to ask someone a bit about it, someone who uses them, someone who uses them more than I do. Maybe get some pointers. So I'll do that after the show, but so far it feels a bit like I do have to hold it a certain way. Yeah, ink bottle would ruin the table, of course. Is that DMCA? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Where did you go? We'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll find out eventually if it is or not. I guess there's a thing called creaturenary on Instagram that some people are doing. One of the topics was to sketch a fishman monster thing. My friend Andres Parada is doing it. We went to school together. Super talented dude. If you guys haven't seen his stuff on the gram.
I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat.
And I know the music's repeating, but unfortunately, I've had a lot of copyright issues lately, so I'm kind of limited to this playlist, and I'm working very hard in the background to create or obtain other tracks. So thank you for bearing with me. If you'd rather me mute it entirely, I can do that too, but just letting you know, giving you a heads up. And it feels good to be back drawing on the show, but the break was nice too. Always welcome to chill for a bit, right? DJ Rodent on the ones and twos. Is a gerbil a rodent or something else? Is it like legit straight up a rodent? So basically like a rat, a pet rat. Do I have any tips for someone who's trying to improve sketch skill? Absolutely. Couple things. I would say find someone that you look up to. I still follow people online that I look up to, and I'll see a sketch and I go, I want to try that. Specifically right now with pen and ink, with painting, I have a few people where I'll look at their sketches and go, that's interesting. I want to try and be that loose. So I follow comic book artists, illustrators, even graphic designers. I follow. Right. So find your inspiration. Okay. I would say pick a tool to start with. So if you're gonna start with, say, something like a felt pen, even pick a tool, stick to it. Hey Lori, what's up? Pick a tool, stick to it, and then commit yourself. Lori, I owe you a video. I just remembered. Lori had some questions on career stuff. But pick a tool, stick to it, and just like absolutely hammer it. And because you can kind of think of it like being on a sports team. Specifically baseball is what I like to think about. And I'm not a sports ball expert by any means, but I do know the idea of a designated hitter in the sense that, you know, there's a clutch player. There's that one person, when they come out, you just know it's a home run, or it's very likely. So I like to think of certain tools that way as you're starting out. All right, so find a tool that works for you in that regard. And then the third thing would be draw from observation. Definitely keep a sketchbook. Keep practicing. Yeah, this pen is interesting. It's making my paper wavy and weird. So I'm just gonna finish this section out, but I don't think I would use it for a full drawing, just because, at least not on this paper. This paper is very cheap. The flare works great on this paper, but I'm just kind of struggling with this pen a bit. Anyhow, so keep a sketchbook, draw every day, draw from observation, and then you can move into drawing from imagination as well. All right. So that would be, let me move this mic back. That would be my advice. Basically in a nutshell. Thanks, Marzi and Lori. and everyone else who's here. It's nice to be back. Got a Fuller House. Still haven't seen that series, but alright, let's take this a little bit more seriously. Trying to just fill in a pattern here, so let me get the outline and then I'll shade it in. So I was basically shading the same thing over and over again, but that feels better. So some of the three-dimensionality is lost here. I'm gonna see if I can bring some of that out. There it is. My paper is curling. Like if I hold it up, it's like this ink is water-based or something, and is really just saturating the paper as I kind of shade in some of these areas. So I guess that would be a watch out if you do decide to try this fountain pen. Is just watch out for paper. It probably worked better on paper that is a bit thicker. This is just cheap printer paper. That's what I'm using here. And it seems to not be as forgiving with the angle which I draw. It does have a I like that lines. Never tell me the odds. Are you referring to Han Solo? I just recognize that because we just got done watching Empire Strikes Back. We are on Return of the Jedi. That's probably what we'll watch tonight. It's part of our Star Wars marathon as a family. We're trying to make our way through the entire series. Star Wars movies. Request from my children. Alright, this leg is totally off. So I'm gonna see if I can... Wait, is it? Alright. I have the high ground, Anakin. Don't do it! You were the chosen one! I am your father. No! So my child was watching Wonder Woman with me, and he was like, Dad, this doesn't even make sense. I was like, I know. He was like, at least with Marvel movies, they kind of make sense. It was a bit much. Kind of losing the hand here. Like I've lost the finger in my shading. But that's alright. The choose on one. Anakin Gerbil was the chosen one. We need a name for the eel. And Lions, I think you're doing well with the name, so. How much ink is left after drawing? Seems to be still full. So far. I don't see any reduction here, really. So, your mileage may vary, of course, as they often say, but... Do you know how people... so I've had this illustrate... No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the idea, because I don't want someone to do it, but... It's always funny when someone says, they say... But I'll just say I have an illustration idea related to that. Like, who is they? Who exactly is they? Do you ever wonder? All right, so there's our little eel dude. Like I said, I'm gonna try and see if I can help out the contrast here a little bit on his tail. So just a quick review what we did this morning. Did our little octopus here, some highlights. Did some texture work on that guy, and I think didn't we finish some eel stuff as well? I was showing you guys. Oh yeah, finished up these eels. Well, some fish. I'll probably post a picture of these on Instagram later today. But yeah, I've started a new sketch challenge, so I'm glad I got a few more pages done. It's a lot harder to draw and talk, however, than just sit, Netflix, and sketch. But yes, it's been a fun Sci-Fi Sunday. Thanks for the ideas, the encouragement, the contributions. NYC tours. Thank you. Thank you so much. Pulling on YouTube, just got inspiration for your architecture. Nice. At one point I thought about being an architect. One point. So like I said, the other thing, I keep giving you too much from the inking guide, but I will say not all black ink is created equally. Even how this is appearing on the paper right now, it appears a little bit different than that Lamy pen. I really need to figure out the official pronunciation, but just like it's Copic, not Copic, and it's Wacom, not Wacom. I used to call it Wacom all the time, but it's Wacom. Anyhow, not all black ink is created equal. So if you are working on a drawing, it does help to stay consistent, even left to right here, depending on how it scans in. When patrons get the sketch, you'll kind of see the differences in the ink. All right. The Lamy ink is definitely more translucent. Seems to be water-based. I would hazard a guess that it is. Not that the Papermate Flare isn't, it is. Some inks are solvent-based, however. Some inks are going to appear more red, some will appear more green, some will appear more gray. So, always helps to stay consistent. These are all things you can correct in Photoshop, however, if you are planning on scanning your sketch in. Not everyone does that, though, so just something to be aware of. Work through. All right. So yeah, not bad for just pen and ink. Continuing to practice here, like I said, lots of goals. What is your request, Mecha Art? Have I ever done comics? Not officially. I've done video. Have I done video games? No, I've done concept art for like TV shows. Gerbil in the Jet Pen's green outfit with this cute jetpack holding a Lamy pen. I don't know if I'm gonna do that today, but I will write it down. My kid wants me to sketch a French fry guy, so I'm gonna say Gerbil, Jet Pens. Jet Pens is a dangerous website, man. And then Lamy. You go to Jet Pens, and if you're not careful, you end up leaving with like hundreds of dollars in pen purchases. Hello, Chaitanya. We're just wrapping up though, so sorry you caught the tail end there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here as part of the show. I'm gonna get back to life, hanging out with the kiddos. Appreciate the contributions and your time, your attention. Thank you for helping. Pardon me. Thank you for helping each other out. Very important. Thanks for joining the Discord. That's a great place to go, by the way, if you want additional help or just want to show off, share your work. It's all good. There's super talented people. There are people that are even way better than I am. So don't be hesitant, share your work. I just want to create a space where if you are interested in drawing and And if you're interested in visual communication, art, that kind of thing, you can join, get there, and share your stuff. All right. So appreciate you being there. Again, I will upload these sketches a bit later today for channel members and patrons to the Google Drive folder. And if you haven't yet, and you are a channel member or patron, gotten your Discord badge, let me know, or status, and I'll be happy to change that over for you. All right, much love, everyone. Thank you. Remember, passion is the process. If you learned something today, take some time to break it down and explain to someone. That's going to help you integrate and get better at what you do. All right. And with that, I'll see you guys later, right here on Sketch Day. Peace and love.